Listen, if you're a foreign entrepreneur doing business in the US, you don't have to live in America for the US courts to come knocking at your door. If you're doing business with American customers, you're selling online, coaching, or consulting to US clients, you are subject to US jurisdiction. That means US lawsuits, US judgments, and US enforcement can reach you anywhere in the world. I'm Karam, a 20-year courtroom attorney. Now, I've represented foreign entrepreneurs in helping them setting up businesses, and I've helped set up international businesses and helped everyone navigate American law. And here's what shocked me the most. Most foreign entrepreneurs doing business in the US thinks that distance protects them from US law and consequences. It doesn't, and that's why I made this video. So today, I'm gonna explain how the US law reaches foreign entrepreneurs and the 3 biggest mistakes that get you sued, as well as the 3 solutions that you need to safely access the American market without legal disasters. So here's what most foreign entrepreneurs don't understand. US courts use long-arm jurisdiction to reach across borders. The standard is much broader than you might think, and it gets a little complicated. I studied it in law school, right? If you target US consumers, process US payments, ship to the US, or run digital ads targeting Americans, you've created what's known as minimum contacts. That's all US courts need to claim jurisdiction over you. Government agencies have even more reach. The FTC can pursue you anywhere for business activities that have a direct, substantial, and reasonably foreseeable effect on US commerce, and that's really broad. That includes you sitting in your home office in another continent selling to American customers. Now, the SEC watches foreign entrepreneurs who are raising capital in the US. The FDA regulates health claims from overseas suppliers. State attorney generals pursue consumer fraud wherever it originates. Now, these agencies don't stop at US borders. They follow the money, and if US consumers are being harmed, they'll pursue you wherever you are, and trust me, they're pretty good at it. And here's how lawsuits actually work when it comes to this. Consumers only need to prove 3 things. Number 1, that they transacted with you. Number 2, they suffered harm. And number 3, your marketing or performance breached some legal duties. Service of process happens through international treaties with 70 other countries. So once you're served, you must respond or face a default judgment. Now, US judgments can be enforced in your home country through reciprocal enforcement treaties. It becomes pretty complex law, but you don't want to get a judgment against you in the US. So now let's talk about the 3 biggest mistakes that foreign entrepreneurs make when doing business in the US, right? Number 1 is doing business in the US without a trusted US legal advisor. This is like diving into a pool without knowing how deep it is. You'll never do that, so don't do this. Most foreign entrepreneurs try to navigate US business law alone, and using Google searches and generic legal advice is not enough. They think they can copy American marketing styles and business practices without understanding the legal framework behind them. You're really at a disadvantage. Here's the reality. US business law is complex. It's constantly changing, and it's unforgiving. The FTC updates guidelines regularly. State laws vary dramatically. Federal agencies coordinate enforcement actions across borders. And you know what? These agencies all assume you've got attorneys anyway. Without a trusted business attorney who understands international commerce, you're operating blind in one of the most litigious business environments you can imagine. It's extremely dangerous. Now, mistake number 2 is using US-style marketing without using US-style compliant legal structure, right? Not having the lawyer, not having the right agreements and terms is a big problem. Foreign entrepreneurs see successful American marketers using income claims, testimonials, urgency tactics, and limited time offers, and they may not be compliant. So they copy these strategies without the legal infrastructure that helps them become compliant. It's one big mess, right? The FTC requires specific disclaimer language for income claims. Testimonials need proper disclosures. Material connections must be disclosed. Limited time offers must actually be limited. There's so much complexity in this law, and it touches upon common law, state law, federal law, that most lawyers don't even deal with it, right? Generic disclaimers don't work. Cookie cutter terms of service aren't enough. Without proper contracts, dispute resolution clauses, indemnification provisions, and governing law provisions, U.S. judges will fill in the blanks, and they don't really care about foreign entrepreneurs. Let me be honest with you, right? So mistake number 3 is not having proper business registration or liability protection. Now, many foreign entrepreneurs try to run U.S. businesses without proper LLCs, legal visibility, or asset protection. And this creates a massive personal liability risk. Even US entrepreneurs do this. They operate as individuals, mixing personal and business assets with no legal separation between themselves and their business activities. So when the lawsuits come, and a lawyer like me will salivate. Everything they own becomes a target. I can go after you personally. They also fail to understand U.S. tax obligations. Foreign entrepreneurs often discover they owe U.S. taxes on income earned from American customers, with penalties and interest that can destroy their business, and it's something they really should get advice from a professional tax accountant. Now, because we want to win in business, we don't just talk about mistakes. Here are the 3 solutions to these problems. Number 1, you build a relationship with a trusted U.S. business attorney. This isn't about hiring lawyers for everything or for a problem right now. It's about having a trusted advisor like a mentor who understands both your home country's laws and U.S. business requirements, who has both business and legal experience. The right attorney can become your business mentor for American expansion. They help structure deals properly for you, right? They review your marketing for compliance. They help you file properly. They create legal systems that protect you before problems arise, especially if you're raising money. Think of it as business insurance, and you pay for your legal guidance up front to avoid paying for litigation later. So solution number 2 is to create U.S. compliant legal infrastructure. That means creating U.S.-based contracts that specify forum, governing law, liability limitations, including mandatory arbitration, attorney fee provisions. Make sure these contracts are battle tested. These contracts have to be written by U.S. attorneys who have both courtroom and business experience. Add FTC compliant disclaimers across all your content, right? Income disclaimers, testimonial disclaimers, material connection statements, all have to meet specific FTC guidelines. And if you're raising money, make sure it's compliant with the SEC. Now, create proper terms of service, privacy policies, and refund procedures that comply with both state, federal, and consumer protection laws. That's very important. That brings us to solution number 3, and that's establishing proper U.S. business structure and tax structure. Forming LLCs in business-friendly states like Delaware or Wyoming, or partnering with U.S.-based entities could be options for you. This provides liability protection. It gives you more control over where disputes are resolved. But you got to really understand the laws there. You have to understand your U.S. tax obligations from day one. Work with international tax advisors who can structure your business to minimize tax exposure while maintaining compliance. That's the key, especially if you're doing business in multiple parts of the world, right? Separate your personal and business assets legally and practically. Maintain corporate formalities to preserve your liability protection. So the bottom line, the goal here isn't to avoid you doing business in the US, it's to do it legally and safely. With proper structure, you can access the massive US market while protecting yourself from its aggressive legal system, and you can sleep well at night knowing you're protected. You just need to understand the rules of the game before you start playing the game, and make sure you learn the game from somebody who's battle tested, right? Foreign entrepreneurs, your international business is only as strong as your legal foundation in the markets you serve. You got to play defense just like American entrepreneurs. So if you're targeting US customers or you're planning an expansion in the US, don't navigate these waters alone. The cost of getting it wrong is way too high, and the opportunity of getting it right is too valuable. And the key missing ingredient is the attorney that's going to help you get there. But now that you understand what doing business in the US is like legally, you need to understand the FTC in greater detail and really understand the top 10 things that the FTC hates about entrepreneurs so you can avoid them. So click on the link below. That's the next video I'm recommending. I'm the battle-tested lawyer. Get Legally Bulletproof. I'll see you there. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, but if you're sick of guessing whether your business is exposed to legal threats you can't see or didn't know was coming, those enemies, mistakes, and liability that cause entrepreneurs to lose, then I've got something very special for you. It's my free business risk report, the same kind of analysis I charge $7,500 for in person when I do my business defense legal mastermind. Click the link below. Answer some strategic questions about your business and get a personalized risk report. You've got nothing to lose. Find out what's hunting you and your business before it destroys everything you've built. I'm Karam, the battle-tested lawyer. Stay legally bulletproof, please.